Hi, I want to share a story with you from my first year of psychotherapy training. I was the only Black person in this group or in this class at the time, and I told everybody a story of how I learned that I was Black and that I had a birthday party, somebody wasn't coming. I asked my mother, why isn't this person coming? And she shared that, it's probably because we're Black. And I remember being really confused at the response. Everyone in the class was like totally horrified and couldn't believe that my mother said, like, how could she say that? And I was like, I remember I was like, I don't get this. Like, am I wrong? Is my mother wrong? Are we looking at this wrong? Because this was a topic that we talked about frequently. So I essentially put the topic of race away because it created like a bit of a shame for me to even bring it up. It felt like it was so wrong. Years later, and through doing my own work around my own racial identity, I was able to bring it back out again because it was something that I needed to be able to address with my group. I tell you this story because that the response made me put away a part of myself, because how I was feeling and what I was experiencing couldn't be in the space. There wasn't the curiosity for it, and there wasn't the awareness around it. So this program that I've created, the Comfortable Race Conversation process, is a way to lean into understanding your racial identity, no matter what race you are, and doing it experientially through having uncomfortable conversations around race and learning how do we take this topic that feels so hard to be with. It's like doing the training so that we can be with it somatically, relationally, experientially. It's important because we need to know how we're showing up around this topic. And we're not going to get away from this topic of diversity and inclusion. And we need to know how we are impacting another person, or what are the things how have I downloaded this topic of inclusion and diversity and racism and how have I downloaded this information, and how is my identity formed around the concept of race? As clinicians, as practitioners, knowing how we show up around this topic of race is essential, because that's what we're going to bring into the room, and that's what is going to be felt with the other. So knowing that we have the ability to take responsibility for how we show up, and finding a way to actually lean into this topic is what my goal is for this program. So this allows, this is 15 hours of professional development where you can look at this topic and really do the internal work that's necessary to have transformational change. So through modules, you will receive pre-recorded modules. If you're interested, you will receive pre-recorded modules each week. And in between each week is a practice circle. So that's where we're going to get together on Zoom and lean into this topic together and understand this isn't just one person teaching. It's not a Black person teaching white people. This is each individual person doing their own look at how have I internalized all of these concepts. Some people come to these topics and they know, other people don't. But that's what we do is like, how do we be in the present? How do we be with what is? How do we be with the fact that some people know and some people don't? And the only way that I see how we can make change is by teaching people how to be with themselves in the present, and teaching people how to be curious about what is different. So I hope, if you're interested, I hope you will join me and join this group in taking a journey in understanding this element of ourself that we don't talk about, and bring lightness to this area that has been, in the shadows. So I look forward to seeing you and learning and embodying this process with you. Okay.